Well, hello again, and I apologize for the delay. It's taken quite some time for me to get through all of the work I've been involved with and take some time to get this 6th video edited for you for the Brooks project. So here we go. So Honnold Crane came out to help stand up the other walls because we had taken the telehandler back and it was having some mechanical issues, but we got stuck in the snow there. So that didn't work out so good. We got another telehandler. This one is had a further reach and a much heavier duty frame to it, which was great. We were going to need it for standing up the moment framing, as you can see here, and Jason got to work putting together these steel sawhorses so that we could use the telehandler to erect the columns and get this front wall put together. It seems like, in hindsight, we spent the entire time ice skating around here at the Brooks project. From the moment the slab was poured until we finished framing, it was cold. The whole second deck was covered in almost 4 or 5 feet of snow at one point, and poor Jason and Liz were out there clearing that, so hats off to you, Jason. That was a huge amount of snow removal. No matter how many times you've been rigging or standing walls or using heavy equipment, there's always some element of creativity and problem solving that goes into dealing with different types of wall systems, columns, you name it. And it usually comes down to budget, time, and what machinery or equipment that is available to you at the time. So in this case, we went out and got another telehandler, which you can see here reaches, I think, a pretty hefty 45 feet, which was great. I forget off the top of my head, but I believe these columns were somewhere in the neighborhood of 22 or 21 feet tall. And we still have yet to set the beams at this point. But in these next few minutes of footage here, you'll start to see the way that both Jason and Travis handled the telehandler and how we rigged using the straps here to get our columns and our beams up and do it in a way that we could then slide the straps off of the forks, because there was nowhere for anyone to stand up there, of course. So once the columns were stood up, you'll see me now grab my impact driver, the roto hammer, and the screw anchors that we use, Simpson Titans, to set the bases of these posts. And we did get very lucky here. We did not manage to hit any rebar. I think we brushed up against one or two pieces, but for the most part, we had really good luck setting all these screw anchors. It's not always so easy. So it doesn't look like much here, but very often for some of you who are working in commercial work or public works, and on occasion residential, these types of screw anchors often require a special inspection. Now, in that case, you can see here I'm using what I call a little sandpiper, but it's just basically an air hose connected to this long aluminum straw to blast the dust out of the hole that I just drilled, because there's a legal amount of dust that is allowable inside that hole, and it can affect the heat and pressure once you start drilling these screw anchors in. Worst case, you can get some serious blowouts on the edges of concrete, occasional fissures or fractures, which generally are not that big of a deal, but in some cases it can make you not pass an inspection. So there's always a little anxiety involved with doing these, because it's you get one shot at it for the most part.
In the quiet of the evening, they'd steal away, where the laughter would flow and the fiddle would play. Well, the folks called it wrong, but hell, it seemed alright. In the sun-painted picture, the day turned to night.
Someone out there may be thinking, well, you're just using those 12-inch screw anchors to go into the concrete. Is that enough to hold those columns? And the answer is yes. They're absolutely rated to handle this sort of connection. But also remember that we will be building in LSL framework to box in the steel framework, and then it all gets sheeted. The beams rest on top of these columns and tie the walls to the back structure. And as we move along here, you'll see that it's one giant composite structure as usual, but it's not just the steel columns being held by the screw anchors alone, in other words.
And her father's old pistol hanging loose by her side. When she aimed once, she never shot twice.
You've probably noticed that Thailand never shies away from being on camera. And while this looks a little sketchy, it is legal, and he is tied in to our little stage up there.
Down in the town,
So we've got more beam work going on, and on this particular day there was a beam that was set, and as the telehandler was telescoping back, it actually knocked our bracing, and Travis took a short flight off his ladder. Luckily everyone was okay, but stuff can be quickly dangerous up here when you're messing around with a lot of weight and a lot of blind corners, if you will.
Almost.
So here you can see the double eye straps sliding ever so gently off the forks here, and I actually don't remember who was operating the telehandler at this moment. I believe it was Travis, but both Travis and Jason were becoming pretty adept at working the boom from a great distance and using a very easy, gentle touch here to allow those hoops to slide off the end of the forks there. Well done, guys. Here you can see that we've got our first section of rake wall built, laid out on these sawhorses, and we're getting ready to stand this first section now. And you'll see here this wall got away from Travis just a bit, but it's not an easy task. Oops. But luckily it's sturdy. We reset it and all was well.